This is Children Who Fly by Leah Lakshmi Pipinza Samarashinya. For Kumari Indigo Francis Pipinya Samarashinya. Kunju, your mom said she knew you wanted to be born. She didn't want you to be abused, but some things, they don't change. Or they don't change enough. That's why you came in. Kumari wakes up and watches her breath. The shock is made out of a thin layer of reclaimed cedar. Rainbow layers of old wool sweaters staple gun to the insides of the walls to keep out the chill. Oakland in November 2032 is warmer than it used to be, but still colder than anyone wants to admit. How planet be damned. And East Bay folks still remain in denial that it's not always summer here because we live in fucking California. She swings her legs off the side of the mattress, stands up and stretches. Reaches for some old black and pink Caesar, bends it over to lace them up. They were her mom's. This was her mother's shack. Her mother died last year. She pushes the double door open, steps out into a dew-wet, shaggy back garden. Fucking endless kale, sunflowers crisping in November, dry grass with lush roots above raised beds above the lead. Walks to the gate and breaks into a run. It was hard for the ancestors to think of this association as positive. Back in the day when Amma was still around, back when she was a riot girl, sulky teenager in the 90s, everyone was still ashamed. They didn't even have words yet. Like, this association, that's that thing that makes it so you can't feel it when you fuck. So you look at your leg and go, that's my leg. That hunk of meat down there, what? Back when her mom was a kid. They didn't even have those signs, those whispers and folded pieces of paper. They had solid bodies of rage and trauma that never had a chance to be whispered, shouted out, and just got passed on. Emma was Generation 1 on the big bunch of paper on the wall of the U.S. Social Forum 2010. You kids are Generation 2. Kumari pushes the gate open and starts trotting down Stewart Street. When the ocean rose, it stops right at Sacramento, and inshallah, the sea dikes and barriers and marvelous human-engineered ecosystems stay working. It means that there are 3 short blocks from the beach. To run next to the earth and sky and water. The smell of salt and oil, hunks of Highway 80 poking through the sea. The sharks that glint coming inland from the far lots. The ones that lived through nuclear warheads dropped and lived for 50 years by a Navy sub. When she hits the crumbling street, its ruined gas station and liquor store, its gardens, she turns right and breaks into a faster run. She's late. 2 blocks of crumbling pier ahead and her fam are waiting. What happens when you are raped early and young? When your amygdala and cerebral cortex are still forming? When your lizard brain and limbic system are raw and open, still governing your body's choices? Instinct, smell, and memory. What happens when your pussy and cock are touched in a way that maybe breaks open that third eye into a canal you can escape through? They call it the opening. Your Amma was a child of Oya, you know. Louis' uncle said once a couple months ago. They were sitting at the old dining table in front of the Janki ancestral altar, long working gas fireplace, and the open-hearted, love freely, love fearlessly poster Kiran auntie made tacked above it. She stirred her coffee at the old kitchen table, her eyes a galaxy, streaked with aging fishnet shadow from the 2015 Urban Decay palette. Lavender magneto of a top coat and streaks to the brow bone. This table was old when Amma got it. When she moved into the house at 34, she kicked the table. I know. She used to say it all the time. Am I too old to roll my eyes? Didn't she ever think it was culturally appropriative or something, since she was Sri Lankan, white, not African? Louis gave an elegant shrug, looking away and sipping. It was easier to get into Orishada than to find some kind of disappointing Dravidian Hindu temple that was queer positive. She was always respectful of Kali, but she found some Lucia Teague book at the book barn in Worcester when she was 10, and she and Oya, they always had an affinity. She was the daughter of Oya and Taurus. She always said it was like being cosmically taught by a goddess all the time. No, wait, stop, mama. No more chains. I figured out the method. And Oya would put her hand on her hip and slap her on a little more, sending her spinning. Whirling skirt don't play. I know all that. Lewis looked at her over the plate. So when you gonna do something with it? Your daughter grew up. Your mom did all those somatics and trauma weekend intensive in the Bay in the early 2000s. Back before so much horrible. Back when friends of hers still had that exotic thing called jobs. The workshops that left you tender and spent, ripped open or new. Back when life was still on the cup of bougie organizer. Broke but organic honey fig lavender ice cream and Rick Ridge and that shit on your EBT. Back before more horrible things than you could imagine happened. Nuclear warheads going off on the Antarctica. No salmon for a decade and a half. The beautiful dead raging ocean. You did all those courses of what you knew a little bit in the Women's Therapy Collective of Veseretio in 2010. Feeling warmth in your belly like tiger lily smell of yellow pollen from love and safety and sex. The stank meat like a chill of your cold blood. And you leave through your left armpit. You know how to do it when you want to now. You close your eyes and envision those tiger lilies in your belly. The wet smell of that pond in Princeton, Massachusetts. Nature Sanctuary, 1995. The secret Detroit River Forward where you took your lover summer of 2012, yes. At the Allied Media Conference. Sticky mango yellow tube top over browning humid skin. How happy you always were at the confluence of Riverbend. Rust Belt City and Revolutionary Holiday. You call those memories and you come rushing back. But you can always call them up. Go deep inside your gut. And then the spiral out through the ladder of your breath. All those years post you know how to leave your body. And go up. The pipeñas, the paisanias, the long lost Ukrainian roots of Kumaru's family have always been second when it comes to heartbreak and disaster. Great grandma Pat woke up in the middle of the night and walked down to where the pilot light had gone out and the gas was leaking in 1975 Watertown, Massachusetts, and turned it off before it could kill her husband and daughter. She screamed and threw her arm in front of her husband just before the pickup driving drunk barreled out of the hidden driveway and would have killed them all. Emma knew what she was about to get dumped via text messages in the middle of her 15th underfunded queer and trans people of color art tour. 8 a.m. Los Angeles. Told her lover she dallied with one fall that he would hurt his new lover badly in the 4th month. The lover would move to New York and break his heart in the 9th month. She waited to see if she would get the gift. Kumari, she can't see everything, but she can see some things. There's a whole group of kids sitting on the pier, cross-legged waiting. Some wear fitted masks, some wear nothing. There are jagged blocks of ex-highway stone pavement all tore up. A lot fell apart. Some people are lucky and live in places that are too toxic to be valuable, but not enough to kill you. Not yet. Other parents are dead, mostly. Plutonium leaking, bombs set off, a weakened ozone shield. The highest concentration of all the cooperative economics and positive solar and transformative justice healing circles in the world can only do so much. War and plague and all those translucent immune systems. All those 2000s 30-year-olds. They got sick in their 40s. Died in their late 50s. After a lot of community acupuncture. Their parents died, but left them this. They nod and circle. Grasp hands. Close eyes. Length, width, depth. Go down. Root. Breathe. They don't have a lot left in these zones. Aquazania, Detroit. Remnants of the bay, the fractured necklace of outposts, the care webs were almost destroyed when everything was almost destroyed. They have backyards, each other, big bags of hoarded grains in the pantries, mushrooms for toxins and tinctures out of looted vodka, what they have always had. And they have this. This is what is working, more than guns and negotiation to win the war that is left. Amma, thank you for teaching me. Kumari closes her eyes and her spirit leaves her body like all those years ago, but on purpose this time. All the way out her right foot. She can see it trickle out on purpose. Not grade that meets orange tiger lily smeared pollen. She's on the ceiling of the sky watching. It is so effortless, delicious. She can taste the colors her spirit hovers in. The tongue tip of that lavender cloud, the way all the colors taste and smell when there are no words to bind them. She can feel it. Then she moves. It's Coney, right? The spirit playing? But really, it's just familiar. The place you go every night when you dream. The place you go when you get on your knees to that rickety little fruit crate altar, or splinty with cloth from a thrift store called Courage My Love in Kingston Market, Toronto, and an assembly of brown girl or corner store botanica scented novelties. She feels them too, not alone. The difference with this one is that no one is alone. Some were raped, some were just taught how to do this. Maybe the weakened ozone layer, the radiation, or the planet's open trauma had been birthed in them too. It is so much easier than it used to be to come off the top of the forehead. There are still kids being raped. There's still prisons functioning in the middle of the gaping maw of utter disaster. There's still bombs being made. This is what they have. Back in 2010, Morgan Onti wrote that article for Alma's book while telling a story that was still being written. It is still being written. Cleveland? Someone thinks or feels towards her. She experiences it as peacock feathers, as Zoa breath, the ghost of a word. Yes, she feels back. Lavender, simple pulse of yes from breastbone. They move